Hey guys, welcome back to the Brik House. Brik William Johnson here. We have a new patch that recently came out for Pokemon Unite, the Breath of Evolution Part 2, and thought it'd be interesting just to go through some of the mods for the new patch notes. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed the video, and let's just get right into it. So, if you watched some of the previous videos, you know that I do like to take in ban rates when I like to look at the must play, sort of like the S tier pick. And just for reference before we get into it, I just want to show the top ban rates and pick rates right now. So top 5 ban rates from the data from last week is Suicune, Alolan Raichu, Psyduck, Buzzwole, and Garchomp. So these 5 mons I'm going to actually probably be keeping out of the must play list, just as because really I want this to be kind of like a sort of baseline guide on who is a good idea to play for the next week, and if a mon is being banned week over week, then it's not really a good investment to put into if you're trying to look for someone to get you to climb in these bank games once you're in the Masters tier. So mind you, if you're not in Masters tier, like you're in Ultra or below, some of these Pokemon will actually be on the must play list. Okay, so starting off our list, we're gonna just have Raichu still staying at the top of the solid pick tier. Raichu is the mon who will just hover around the must play and solid pick. It's just a fairly easy Pokemon to pick up in my opinion. Has a bit of a learning curve, but honestly it's not too hard to get through, and still just a really good pick. Followed by Espeon, Ninetales I'm going to keep down here. I'm going to keep Venusaur in the same spot, and I think we'll put Dragapult actually in our must play, with Greninja kind of just hovering right under the Raichu. So next we're going to have Pikachu, followed by Miraidon, Inteleon. Honestly, Inteleon's doing pretty good. Probably put him a little bit above Miraidon. Followed by Decidueye, into Delphox, Cinderace, all in the B tier. Honestly, the B tier is the one that has the most amount of Pokemon in here. So Chandelure, Glaceon, Armarouge, Mewtwo, and I think we're actually going to cut it off there. So for the most part, these are the same Pokemon as last week that I had in my B tier, and for the most part, most attackers are just kind of lying in this mid tier right now, where there's a few of them that are doing really good, but for the most part, their reliance on having a proper team is just too high for a lot of them. Some of them, like Inteleon and Miraidon, even Pikachu to an extent, can almost be like, you know, picks you can pick in almost any game and continuously get those wins, but they just kind of suffer because they are still attackers at the end of the day. So at the end we have Mew, Gardevoir. Oh, how did I forget about Sylveon? Oh, Sylveon actually I think is still in the solid pick tier. The Shell Bell buffs with the Mystical Fire Draining Kiss set is just working so well for Sylveon, and a Pokemon who did well with a lot of sustain is still doing very well. We'll have Duraludon in our maybe don't play, and Cramorant in our last place. And really, like, this is a night and day difference when we're trying to compare Cramorant to Dragapult. Cramorant still, like, it's not like the worst Pokemon. I've seen some people get a lot of success with Cramorant, but just when comparing to other attackers, just never holds up in my opinion. So let's just move on to the attackers, and the first thing to note is that Zacian I don't think is going to be in our must play tier. He's going to be moving down. Definitely a really strong Pokemon still. He still has one of those upper 50% win rates, but he's definitely suffering a lot from these nerfs. We're gonna have Gyarados here next to Mimikyu, followed by Urshifu, and these are just all really good, solid all-rounders. Suicune and Scyther still staying in our solid pick tier. We have Aegislash as well up here. I think we're gonna put Buzzwole next, followed by Phalanx. And actually, I think we'll put Metagross above. We'll put Metagross above Buzzwole. So yeah, these are just gonna. I think I'll round out their solid picks for the all-rounders. All-rounders are just great picks that can go almost anywhere right now. They're just really dominating the game ever since the Speedster nerf, and yeah, they're able to just survive for so long and do a lot of damage, do some 1v5s in those Rayquaza pits that definitely gets you those wins. We'll actually put Tyranitar. Actually, no, put Tyranitar in the top of the not bad tier, but we will actually put Blaziken. I think should go in the must play, with Garchomp kind of being at the top of the solid pick. Now, two Pokemon that just got buffs this recent patch, and yeah, the cooldown buff with the HP shield on Blaziken is really helping him get a lot more early game damage off, and Garchomp he got rid of the only issue that Garchomp really has, which is his early game is so bad. Now Gible is able to get those 2v1s, 1v1s with that built-in lifesteal now, so he would be in the must play, and a lot of the games are reflecting that, but he's on track to be banned almost every game right now. He's just that good, and because of that, he's gonna have to be in the solid pick tier. Just statistic wise, like right now, he's banned in almost 20% of the games, so that's like 1 in 5. I'd only expect that to go up to like 2 and 5, like 40%, 60% in the coming weeks until you're gonna see him pretty much banned every game. So I think right now I can put him in the solid pick and Blaziken in the must play, but honestly, it can go either or with them right now. They're both just so good. Okay, so moving on to our B tier. Oh, you know what? Let's put Dragonite actually in the bottom of the solid pick, and then we'll start off with Savina at the top of this tier, followed by Tyranitar. Tinkaton will be next. I think we'll have Charizard. Charizard's doing pretty decent, but it's just, not bad as the tier says. Mewtwo X, and I think we'll round it off with oh, how did I miss Suicune? Sorry, I missed some Pokemon. Let's put Suicune right by Gyarados. Let's put him actually above Gyarados. Put him at the top there. We'll put Azumarill right at the bottom of the solid pick tier. Ceruledge will be, let's put him right under Aegislash actually. Ceruledge is a really good assassin type Pokemon, but he does lack the bulkiness that these other all-rounders have. And I think that's good. Or maybe not. Maybe we'll actually move Azumarill down. Azumarill it's doing really well right now. It took a pretty big nerf though. Any Pokemon who was kind of like double stacking, or kind of relied on the Excel Bracer to get that, really early game snowball effect dominance, they took a massive hit with the fact that now both the Excel Bracer and Drive Lens stacked to 20, and Azumarill sadly is one of those Pokemon where I think it just put it over the edge of making it a solid pick into, well, like not bad, but I'd rather you pick the Buzzwole or Metagross. There's a lot of better snowballing all-rounders right now. Okay, so in our maybe don't play, I think we'll have Lucario with Machamp. Ooh, actually, I gotta choose between one, don't I? Okay, we'll have Lucario in last place, Machamp in the maybe don't play, and we'll have the other Urshifu here. As I say it all the time, why play the dark type Urshifu when the water type exists? That's really the only reason why I say it. It's not that it's like that bad, it's just there's a way better set that will go with more teams. That will go with more team comps. Okay. And then yeah, Lucario is gonna have to fill in the last place. He's just a good Pokemon, not good enough in this meta. There's so many, since like all-rounders are so good, they're gonna like these all-rounders right now are almost like the counters to attackers because of how good a lot of them are. You know, as you see, like a lot of them are taking up the solid pick spot compared to the attackers. Not that many attackers are in that same slot. So Lucario's not hitting it. Even when like Machamp is honestly like they're going neck and neck for really being all-rounders that are just not worth it. And I just hope that one day they both get buffs, because it's been a while. It's been a long time since any of them got any substantial buffs. So now let's go on to our Speedsters, and I think I'm gonna give the S tier or must play slot to Meowscarada right now. Talonflame is like kind of right there in the back as like, you know, second best, and like honestly it goes in between the three of them. It's really hard to honestly to solidify who is the best speedster right now. None of them are being banned as much. I think Darkrai is also in that category, and Absol as well, where like the fact that these Pokemon have to rely so heavily on the 1v1 aspect does just bring them down a little bit when there's so much team fighting now going on in these games, which is why a lot of these all-rounders are so good. So Meowscarada is definitely the best team fighting speedster in the game, so I think it's definitely going to be the must play for right now. And I think I'm going to have to move up Galarian Rapidash to the not bad, at the top of the not bad actually right now. It's again, it's like team fighting is so important right now. Galarian Rapidash is able to split and get those team fights in, so it's actually, when played properly, a very effective Pokemon. It's just a bit tricky, and something that brings it down from the solid pick tier right now. But honestly, a Pokemon I think can do a lot to the other team, and just needs a couple more buffs, and will honestly be one of a really dominant pick in the game. It's only a few buffs away. I'll put Dodrio at the... Actually, I'll put Dodrio at the... right beside Galarian Rapidash. It's about the same. It has the exact same things going for it, and with the new patch coming out that's going to increase the movement speed, it's going to get really fun just zooming around the map with both those Pokemon. We'll have Leafeon. Yeah, we'll put Leafeon beside them. I think we'll have Zavoic in the maybe don't play. He's not... Zavoic isn't really getting there anymore. I played against a really good Zavoic a couple times, but with this, the way the game's going, with how tanky all-rounders get at the end, they just can't get those. They can't just seal the deal and get those wins, and I just don't think he's really worth the pickup right now. Gengar, I think, will be right beside him. Just because, yeah, it's just almost the same problems. It's just such a glass cannon right now. Where, yeah, yes, you're going to be doing so much damage early game, but you're going to fall off so hard by the time the Quasar comes and everybody kind of levels out. Everyone, like, equals out in their leveling, right? And so that's going to leave our last place back to Zeraora. He's someone who just fluctuates a lot right now, and honestly, you can actually argue he's, you know, just as, you know, in the same position as these guys, maybe even in a little better of a position. And it's mostly the margin's just so small, but really it's just to say that there's 4 speedsters that are clearly better than other 4 speedsters. There's a clear best amount of speedsters in the game right now, in my opinion. When you got to compare them all together. For the top of the defenses, we're gonna, and this might be obvious, but we're gonna have Blastoise again. Honestly, I don't know why they buffed Blastoise. I think he was already the best defender in the game, bar none. and they decided to buff almost like they buffed his his base HP, so he has better survivability later on in the game, and then Water Spout for the rapid spin set. I guess it wasn't as popular, but hey, I mean, he's just gonna hold down the must play, and he's just such an oppressive defender right now. And honestly, the defenders aren't gonna really see much change right now. They're all playing the same, and this patch didn't really affect many of these defenders. So we're gonna have all like Trevenant, Mamoswine, Umbreon, Snorlax, Lapras. All of those guys are gonna stay in the solid pick tier. So then on the not bad, I will have Ho-Oh, followed by Crustle into Slowbro. Just so like Slowbro. And then the maybe don't play. I think I'm actually gonna put Greedent in here. And I usually put Greedent in last place because of the playstyle, but I think that Goodra is in a terrible position right now. I can't tell you the last time I've played with the Goodra on my team and it was like a good pick. It's lost me a lot of games recently, and it's a mixture of people trying to figure out what to do with Goodra now since you can't do so much damage, and people, you know, still trying to do the old build that just doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't scale as well as these other Pokemon in the game currently. So I don't know what to do with Goodra, and I think it's definitely the worst Pokemon, worst defender in the game right now, and it's in competition for one of the worst Pokemon in my opinion. So over here in the supporter tiers, we're gonna actually have Clefable in my must play right now, and Clefable's a Pokemon that got a buff this patch. So Clefable's stats got buffed. Its HP, its defense, special defense, and even some of its moves like Draining Kiss and Moonlight. And it's really neck and neck with Psyduck on being my must pick for supports right now. Psyduck is again only just kind of beaten out because of the ban rate, and it's the high priority of the character. If you're trying to become a Psyduck main, you might not be able to play Psyduck as often, so you might have to branch out a little bit, sadly. So next, I'll have Comfey at the top of the solid pick, and kind of begrudgingly, I am not a fan of Comfey, but it is a very good, effective Pokemon. And then Blissey just to round out the solid picks. Blissey is just such a great Pokemon. And then under that, so we'll have Wigglytuff at the top of the not bad, followed by Mr. Mime, and then Hoopa. Hoopa is just such a situational pick. There's too many times where you need like all of your teammates to know what Hoopa does. If one person doesn't know what's going on, everything can kind of break down, and yeah, it's you can have a terrible time. And then I'll just round off both Eldegoss and Sableye in our last place category. So yeah, just to go over really quickly now the tier list. So a couple Pokemon moved up and down. We just have Blastoise really from last week staying in our must play tier, and I mean it's not really a surprise since he got his buffs recently. But yeah, I find Galarian Rapidash is a bit hard to place right now. It's a Pokemon who I can say on one day is one of the best Pokemon, on other days is, you know, hovering on the not so good territory. But I think with this latest patch, it definitely is performing much better, and hopefully, and I can't wait to see, you know, how some of these Pokemon perform for this next week, now that people are getting more used to the patch and are more aware of the new playstyles that are emerging. So yeah, thanks for watching, and let me know down in the comments if there are any Pokemon you thought that should be higher up in the list, anyone that should be lower down. Love to know your thoughts. But that's gonna be it for me. I've been Brik William Johnson, and I hope you guys have a nice day. Brik out.